money you loaned was June 3rd. You got the first payment of $1,000 on July 5th.
Mm-hmm.
The second payment on August 2nd. The
September
third payment,
2nd.
September
Yeah, exactly.
2nd.
And
then,
October 2nd. And then I told her we can wait because I knew that the holidays were coming up.
Ms. Bailey, you say in your answer that Ms. Weisinger forgave you the loan, the balance of the loan.
I believed so. When I told her that I wasn't working and I wasn't coming up with, the money.
You believe so?
Yeah. So
what led you to believe?
I believe it was a misunderstanding because when I thought she said, like, we're good, don't worry about it, I thought that meant, like, we're good, don't worry about it.
Were you concerned at all when you mentioned this cruise to them at a time where they were paused on payments to you?
No, because
that they might interpret that as, we're good with the balance of the $4,000. I've forgiven you that. Now I want you to go on this trip.
No, I didn't have no concerns because they were making the payments on time. When Matthew agreed to the trip, I'm thinking, okay, well, everything is going to be picked up in January, so it's just going to proceed on. So I'm not even expecting any money until January.
Okay, Ms. Bailey, you were working at the time?
On and off, yes.
Both of you sporadically employed, owing her money?
I didn't know that I was going to be...
About 12 kids?
I didn't know I was going to be paying that trip back until after we already went on that trip.
Okay, I'm going to open it up.
Was there anything that you needed to spend on the trip? I know this was a cruise and sometimes it's all inclusive.
They had their money.
Were they spending money on the trip?
I mean, we went on excursions. We did everything.
How much money did you spend on the trip?
I probably brought like maybe $800 with me.
And you were thinking that the tickets were free, a gift?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think she's here? Because you think it has something to do with something else. So
me and him go through our on and off situations, and which auntie plays mediator during those times. I don't know. I thought in my mind that we were fine. Like, I thought it had went away. I thought she had dropped the $4,000. I thought the cruise was a gift. I didn't know we were going to be having to owe this money back until after the trip.
Ms. Weisinger, what was the conversation about repayment for the trip?
That JR would pay for the trip. Okay. He would pay me back for the trip. I would get my money within a couple of months. That was the conversation.
Okay, the parties are excused while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you all.
We've come to a unanimous verdict. This was obviously a loan, this $8,000 that the plaintiff loaned to you all. The issue came in where you, Ms. Weisinger, claimed that you suspended the payments before the holidays, and you, Ms. Bailey, stating that she forgave them. We found you credible, Ms. Weisinger, that you wouldn't have forgiven an $8,000 loan. The balance at that point was $4,000. And we believe your testimony when you said that you wanted to allow them to get the money that they needed during the holidays to provide for their kids. You seem to be a very caring, mother-like figure for them. But you do have the burden of proof, and we had an issue with whether this cruise was a loan or not. The reason why you suspended the payments was for them to be able to provide for their kids during the holidays. But then to tack on another $1,000 for a cruise around almost the same time didn't really make sense to us. But we do have evidence that this was a loan, this $8,000, evidenced by the payments they were making to you, leaving a balance of $4,000. So a verdict in your favor for that amount.